We are headed to the polls to do our vote. She se puede. Should be a law that you have to vote. You got to get out there, make your opinion known, so that when your things go wrong or things go right, or vice versa, you have a voice to say, well, I was a part of that, or hey, that contributed to that boo-boo. I don't know, I just need decency. I need decency.
I'm trying to find where we're supposed to be going.
We're finally here.
Small detour.
All right. Are you going to wear your black one, or are you going to wear the disposable one?
I'm warm up. In downtown Los Angeles, where protesters have been kettled into a corner by the Los Angeles Police Department on the night of the 2020 election. How do you feel about that? There are about 2 to 3 dozen protesters that have been kettled in.
We the people will not surrender. Biden's legal team says they are prepared for whatever the president's lawyers told them. Looking ahead, Biden says he's ready to start uniting the country after this. And now we're going to Delaware, where ABC 7 Wire is at the Biden campaign headquarters. Thanks so much for joining us, Devin. What's the mood there at this hour?
Hey, Lindsay, you know, well, the Biden drive-in here in Wilmington didn't get its blockbuster moment last night, but make no mistake, the Biden campaign today was exuding confidence. Jen O'Malley, Dylan, the campaign manager, said, we have our next president of the United States. Now, they've stopped short of outright declaring that today. They were threading the needle of responsibility here in Wilmington. That said, we did just see, just about an hour ago, the Biden campaign has officially unveiled their new transition website, buildbackbetter.com. So they are moving ahead, Lindsay, even before declaring victory, just so far.
And we saw the Trump campaign launch a flurry of legal challenges late today. How concerned is the Biden team about those challenges? And is there any worry at this point about intervention by the Supreme Court and its conservative majority?
Well, for the most part, you know, we've talked about those concerns about a possible Bush versus Gore 2.0 election meltdown. That seems a lot less likely tonight. In fact, almost unlikely given the math we have right now. That said, the Biden team is taking a very defensive posture that 50% of all Americans who did vote yesterday or in the early days voted for Joe Biden. And think about it this way, more Americans cast a ballot for Joe Biden for president than any other president in American history. In fact, he surpassed the record, 69.5 million votes set by Barack Obama back in that historic election of 2000.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't want to get excited yet. Oh my God, 264. 264.
How do you feel?
Only 6 more points. Overwhelmed. Like I really want to finish. My anxiety is so high. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's left? Still waiting on Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. Will those give them enough numbers? I don't know. I'm just worried. Did they call Nevada already? Not yet.
No, look.
It says 264, 214, but still Nevada is still, he's leading in Nevada, but Trump is leading in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. But Pennsylvania just came out in the news saying they still had over 1 million votes to count. So, I mean, that's still a lot. Al Gore would have won that year. But even then, I wasn't stressed. Nobody in the family was stressed.
Babe, so how do you feel?
No. Well, I've been kind of hiding out. I've been really nervous and scared all day today.
But better than the last election? Because we were still on White Bridge and you were crying.
Oh, she started crying in the morning when she woke up.
No, she like 12 o'clock in the morning.
No.
I have videos of it.
That was here at this house, baby.
No.
No, that was White Bridge.
Oh my God, that was White Bridge.
Because you were so mad at me for not waking you up.
So 264.
In my defense, I
I'm like petrified to say it's him yet. I want to hear from CNN and NPR, ABC, CBS, fuck Fox, but I want to hear it from everybody else.
Von Fuckface, Von Clownstick, what is it?
Fuckface on Clownstick. That is his new name from half of our cousin, my niece. I can't stop. Every time I hear that, it makes my day. For you, even for you, son, for my husband, but not for strangers. Just like I could never be a police officer. There's no way I would put my life at risk to give a ticket and possibly get shot because the person that I'm happening to stop has a warrant for something stupid. Like you see these catastrophic freaking chases and it's over something stupid like a light, but they don't realize they're chasing a person that has a warrant out for some other nonsense. I mean, that takes such courage.
Some drug criminals lackey that doesn't want to.
Well, it just takes more courage than I'm ever willing to. Just like being president, I would never want to be president. I wouldn't want to know the secrets that this country has and how we stand on the backs of hardworking people and make money off of them. I could never. There's just so many things I could not tolerate. I commend everyone who's ever had to wear the hat of president, except for Trump.
I was waiting for it.
Well, but here's why. If he had just shut up, if he had just closed his mouth and been presidential, work on the things that need work on. There's a lot of stuff that we don't even know that goes on every day, infrastructure-wise, in the political world. Focus on that. Focus on making America's economy better, making America's diversity better, whatever the hell it is you have to do. Just stop tweeting. To know that for 4 years, I swear by God, every day I wake up to see, what did my president do? Because he's my president. Even though I didn't vote for him, he's my president. And it was an embarrassment. And humiliating.
Look up the news right now.
I mean, like, literally, my brain can't handle anymore. I literally can't. And I wanted to be happy when Johnny called me, but I'm like, I'm not saying anything until...
Right now.
Type in election 2020.
Election 2020 results.
Or go to news, under news.
Oh, news?
Mm-hmm.
News.
Wait, there we go. Down there. What does it say?
No, wait, no, not yet. No.
Click it.
264.
No, click the news. Where it says Pennsylvania.
Live election results. No, still. See, it's too early to...
No, look,
253.
there should be a video of Pennsylvania under news.
Just type in Pennsylvania in the search icon instead.
CNN.
Pennsylvania.
Clinton, national news. I don't see it even string.
Still shows 253.
Channel News Networks or something like that.
Maybe let me go to YouTube, maybe.
I'll go to Vox.
Go to Vox? What is Vox? Vox.com?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on CNN right now.
VOX, yeah.
VOX.com.
Oh, but it's like whole hair. Oh. It's like a nice pick for the whole.
Read it. Read it, baby.
Just a second. Are you sure this is right?
Mm-hmm. Read it out loud.
I can't read it out loud because I can't believe it right now. Give me a second. I have to look more. Hold on. No. Election 2020 results. Pennsylvania.
Within a couple hours of that. So it's been working around the clock, as are many of the counties. And we've been talking about yesterday again and how incredibly smooth. It's one of the smoothest, least issues presidential elections than I've seen in any time that I could possibly remember. And I've been in and around elections for a long time as a voting rights lawyer and a poll worker. This was incredibly smooth, and that's a huge credit to. Thanks for joining me here yet again. We're coming in the home stretch here. The counties have been working incredibly hard. Hundreds of thousands of ballots have been counted so far today, and we're in very good shape, but there's still some to count. So they are working incredibly hard. They're going to keep counting into the evening, and stay tuned. So let's see. We've been reaching out. We've been very closely in touch with all 67 counties, making sure that they're reporting on as regular basis as possible. I know all of you, everybody around the country, around the state are eagerly awaiting, and I can tell you that I'm so proud to work with the 67 counties, the election officials who are just doing an amazing job getting these counted accurately and securely. So I am happy, I think, with that, to take your questions. Yes?
The integrity of the election has certainly been
Maybe I don't. There's nothing yet.
Just type Biden 1.
Final states that we're waiting to hear from. What is your message to people of Pennsylvania and to people of the country about the way things work here in Pennsylvania?
And these news people, they said they're not going to call it. Now they're calling it.
Pennsylvanians have more choices on how they've been able to vote this year than they've ever had in the history of the Commonwealth.
Michigan
and no
has
matter
Joe
how
Biden.
they voted, what's critical here is that we have very strong processes in place that make sure that voting integrity and security are constantly followed by every county in the state. So, for example, we talked about, I think it was.
Isn't anybody doing the news live right now, for God's sakes? Okay, this one's live.
Everyone, this isn't surprising here. It's not surprising that those votes coming in that were frankly cast before Election Day, but are being tallied now, are so Democratic leaning.
Right, and I think that's an important point to stress. These votes that are coming in right now, that are being counted right now, are all
Vox called it.
that were cast
Vox did call
before
it?
the election or by Election Day.
Right. For the most part, that's exactly what we're hearing from Pennsylvania. There was this interesting part of the debate in the Pennsylvania State House where some Democrats argued that ballots should be able to be put in the mail on Election Day, and they should be counted if they arrived 3 days after Election Day. But that issue got all tangled up in the courts, and because of a lot of litigation, a lot of the counties just said, you know what, if we find a ballot like that didn't even arrive until after Election Day, we're going to set it aside for now. So in the majority of the counties, they're not even talking about those other ballots yet. They're still just making their way through the very routine process of checking all the ballots that had arrived by Election Day.
And Mary Alice, President?
One of the fascination with criminal trials.
Is there a fast forward? Oh, because it's live. There's no fast forward.
She revealed she had murdered his family.
He's leading in Georgia. He's leading in Georgia, Jesse.
It's the time of suspicion. The ending's
She doesn't even pay attention to what's on the TV. The numbers.
Oh my God. He's in North Carolina.
you try to find
No, North Carolina still has Trump a little bit higher. Pennsylvania. Oh my God, he's a little bit leading in Pennsylvania too. Oh my God, this is like nerve-wracking.
every day. Well, the Edward Aurora Awards say it's start here.
When did Arizona come in? When did the numbers for Arizona come in? I slept through this?
Times calls us a top news podcast worth listening to. So if you like getting behind the biggest
Please,
news
fast
stories,
forward, come on.
biggest news stories of the day,
Sorry.
inside all the details, the backstory, and what will happen next, then listen to Start Here, the daily news podcast from ABC News. It's like no other news podcast out there. Even the critics agree. Listen free on Apple Podcasts.
My God, that's less than 1,000 votes.
Mother, she just one night vanished.
Where is Susan?
July 29th.
Why is there so much commercials?
Something happens to me. Our assets are
That's
documented.
what happened with
Because
cable.
they have to pay. They have to pay for the.
I'll never forget the first time that I met
How's
him. The
this?
chill just like raced up through my spine. I just shook the hand of the killer.
Now, new details, stunning new interviews.
He ends up revealing the biggest bombshell.
For the 6,000. Joe's ahead by 6,000 votes.
Welcome back. This is a live look at the convention center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where votes are still being counted. The whole country watching this state particularly very closely this morning after Joe Biden just took the lead in the vote count in Pennsylvania, a state which could put him over the top if he now holds on to that lead. So let's turn to our virtual roundtable to help break this all down. Brennan Center for Justice President Michael Waldman, Washington Post national correspondent Barry Jordan, and Lincoln Project Senior Advisor Tara Setmeyer. Thank you all for being here. Tara, I want to start with you on this news out of Pennsylvania. What does this do for the dynamic of the parties right now as they're keeping track of this count and trying to figure out their path to victory?
That's so close. Oh my God.
Well, it certainly shows an air of inevitability for Joe Biden. And this is something that the Biden campaign has been anticipating for days, as they were confident that the percentage of mail-in ballots were incredibly...
I can't. I will literally have a panic attack if I didn't pick up my meds.
Well, you have Xanax.
I have to pick it up. I haven't picked it up.
No, I picked it up last night.
You may have to give me one. I mean, how much longer could they make us wait?
Diligently doing their job and counting the vote. And as has been said, it's really important to remember, Pennsylvania is not switching to Biden. These are the earliest votes cast in many instances. They're just being counted now. And when all the votes are counted, it does look as though it's highly likely that today Joe Biden will be president-elect. And I think...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I think that...
That's 100,000
there's
votes.
a lot less doubt than
He's
some
taking it
people
by
are trying to
100,000 votes.
manufacture for partisan and personal reasons.
I just wanted to reiterate that, as we heard earlier in the show, we heard from an election official.
Do you hear my stomach? It is literally a box of cats fighting.
They are looking into any...
No, you know what? I'm just gonna... We're just gonna hold off until we find out. I have a headache. Baby, can you give me 2 Advil? In fact, I think in that bottle is the little minis. I'll take 2 minis.
Those deficiencies went to character, went to decency, went to a lack of empathy, and these are qualities as glorious that Joe Biden has in abundance, and that made him the right candidate to run against Donald Trump. I think what he's
Biden looks like he's going to win this election. I know there's a lot of conservatives, the White House, Republicans, who still think this race isn't over, that they're going to continue this effort to determine whether there were sufficient irregularities in the election to overturn this. So I think that's going to continue. How long it will continue, as David and I talked about yesterday, will depend upon the margins in some of these states. I mean, Pennsylvania was just called.
And yes, truth.